I hate to tell you this, but if you are trying to become a cloud engineer in 2026 using a roadmap from even a year ago, then you are already behind. AI has changed what companies are hiring for, and the skills that got people into cloud roles in 2023 and 2024 are not the same anymore. The roles that are paying the most right now are not the same ones that paid the most 2 years ago, and the entry points that used to be straightforward are getting a lot more competitive. Most roadmaps just give you a list of topics with no sense of what order matters or which skills have actually become more valuable. This video walks you through the updated sequence for 2026, what to learn, in what order, and where the real opportunities are right now. Before we get into the roadmap, it helps to know exactly what this job actually looks like from day to day. A cloud engineer designs, builds, and maintains the foundation that applications run on. Instead of physical hosts sitting in a room somewhere, all of that infrastructure lives in the cloud. Think of it as being the architect and builder of the digital foundation that every modern app sits on top of. If there is software running at scale anywhere in the world, a cloud engineer has built and is maintaining the environment that keeps it running. In real life, it looks like this. So Netflix serves 200 million users at the same time, across every country without the service going down. That does not happen by accident, because someone built the cloud infrastructure that automatically scales up when millions of people are watching at the same time and scales back down when they are not. So the company is not paying for servers it does not need. A startup with a small team can take their product from an idea to available to users in many countries in just minutes, because a cloud engineer designed the deployment system that makes that kind of launch possible. That's the range of the work. Some cloud engineers build infrastructure that serves millions of people, while others are the first to touch cloud at a company and build the entire system from scratch. Both situations exist, and both are hiring. The reason this field is growing faster right now specifically is not just that more companies are moving to cloud, though that is still happening at a massive scale. It is that every company building or adopting AI is running those AI workloads on cloud infrastructure. AI requires a ton of amounts of compute power, storage, and networking capacity, and all of that lives in the cloud. So the opportunity is real and it's growing. Before I walk you through exactly what to learn, I want to show you how I would actually structure the learning, because having the right path from the beginning changes everything about how fast this clicks. When I looked at how people actually go from knowing nothing to getting hired as a cloud engineer, there was one platform that kept coming up. That platform is Zero to Mastery, and what sets it apart is that they built an actual cloud engineer career path, not a collection of courses you have to figure out how to sequence yourself. The curriculum starts with cloud concepts and fundamentals, then moves into compute, storage, networking, and databases, followed by infrastructure and deployment, and finishes with exam prep and a full practice exam. Everything in the roadmap I'm about to cover is laid out in the right order as one structured program. What makes this different from most platforms is that every stage has real projects built into it. By the time you finish, you do not just have a certification to show a hiring manager. You have a portfolio of real cloud projects that you built yourself, and that is what gets you past the interview, not just the certification. Over 1 million students have gone through Zero to Mastery. The people coming out of this program are now at Google, Amazon, and Tesla. That is the outcome of a curriculum that is built around what companies actually hire for. The subscription is $49 a month, and the average starting salary for a cloud engineer is $130,000 a year. If this program gets you hired even 4 to 6 months faster than trying to piece it together on your own, that $49 a month is the best investment you will ever make in your career. The math is not close, and the first month comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there is nothing to lose in trying it. I have also dropped the link for you in the description. Now let me walk you through exactly what that roadmap covers, layer by layer, so you know what you are actually building toward and why the order matters. There are 3 layers, and you build them in order. Each one is what makes the next layer make sense, and the first layer is the foundation. Linux system administration is where this starts, and the reason is practical. Most cloud servers do not run Windows, they run Linux. And most of the command line tools you will use every single day in this job are built for Linux environments. Being comfortable in Linux means knowing how to move around the file system from the command line, how to manage files and permissions, how to start and stop services, and how to read what is happening when something breaks. Networking fundamentals come with that, and this is the one people most often try to skip. Understanding how data actually moves across a network is not optional in this field. You need to know what TCP and IP means, how DNS takes a domain name and finds the IP address behind it, how load balancers spread traffic across multiple servers so no single machine gets overwhelmed, how subnets divide a network into smaller controlled sections, and how firewalls decide what traffic is allowed in and what gets blocked. Every cloud service you work with later connects back to these concepts. And if you skip this layer, things in layer 2 will start breaking in ways that are hard to troubleshoot because you will not understand why. Basic scripting with Python or Bash rounds out the foundation. You are not becoming a software developer. Instead, you are learning to write short scripts that automate things you would otherwise have to do manually. Once that feels comfortable, you're ready to move into the layer most job postings are actually built around. Layer 2 is the core cloud stack, and this is where the actual cloud engineering begins. Amazon Web Services is where you start, and the reason is simple. AWS has over 30% of the global cloud market and shows up in more job postings than any other platform by a wide margin. You start with just 6 core services, not everything all at once. EC2, which is virtual machines in the cloud, S3, which is storage for files, backups, and static assets, and VPC, which lets you set up an isolated private network environment for your infrastructure. IAM, which controls exactly who has access to what and is one of the most important services to understand from a security standpoint. RDS, which is a managed database service that handles the maintenance, backups, and scaling for you. And Lambda, which lets you run small pieces of code without having to manage a server at all. Those 6 services cover the vast majority of what you will actually use day to day in most cloud engineering roles. Everything else you can learn as you need it. Infrastructure as code is the next piece. And this is what separates people who click around in a console from people who build cloud environments the way professional teams do. Tools like Terraform and CloudFormation let you write out your entire cloud infrastructure as code. That means you can build a complete environment, tear it down completely, and rebuild it from scratch identically in 10 minutes. Hiring managers will ask about this directly in interviews, and if you have never worked with it, then that gap shows. Docker and Kubernetes handle the packaging, and these two are standard in almost every modern cloud environment. Docker packages an application along with everything it needs to run into a container, so the application behaves exactly the same way, whether you are running it on your laptop, a test server, or a production environment in the cloud. Kubernetes manages many of those containers at once. It handles scaling when traffic increases, distributes the load across multiple containers, and automatically restarts them when something fails. CI and CD pipelines are how code goes from a developer's computer to a live production environment without a human manually triggering each step. A CI and CD pipeline automatically runs tests when new code is submitted, builds the application, creates a container, and deploys it to the cloud environment. Understanding how to set one of these up is something most interviews will expect you to have actually done, not just be able to describe from a blog post. That's the core cloud stack. Focus on those 6, learn to build with Terraform, understand containers, and how deployment pipelines work. The last layer is what makes you competitive when you get there. Layer 3 is certification and specialization. AWS is the certification you want first, and the reason it matters is that it shows up in over 80% of cloud engineering job postings. Hiring teams use it as a filter. It proves that you understand how to think about designing a cloud system, not just how to use individual services. Getting this before you start applying is not optional if you want to be competitive. After that, you choose a direction based on where you want to focus. The AWS SysOps administrator goes deep on operations, monitoring, and making sure cloud systems stay reliable. The AWS Developer Associate is for roles where the work involves more coding alongside the infrastructure. Either one is a strong next step. From there, you pick a specialization, like cloud security, which is one of the fastest growing areas in the field right now, because every company handling sensitive data in the cloud needs engineers who know how to protect it. DevOps combines cloud engineering with the automation of software delivery into a single role. Multi-cloud adds Azure or Google Cloud on top of your AWS foundation, which matters for companies that run infrastructure across more than one provider. A lot of people try to get through all of this by signing up for AWS's free tier. Most of them are still stuck in layer 1 around 6 to 9 months later, not because the material is too hard, but because they are learning without any structure, without a clear sequence, and with no way to tell if what they are covering is actually what companies are hiring for. That is the full roadmap. But there is one thing most guides skip entirely, and it is usually the difference between getting the offer and not getting it. In cloud engineering, nobody is asking where you went to school. What actually matters to hiring managers comes down to two specific things: whether the certification gets you past the initial screening, and if real infrastructure that you've built yourself gets you the offer. In any cloud engineering interview, the conversation is going to come around to how you think about systems. They will ask you to walk through how you would architect a solution for a specific problem, how you would troubleshoot a deployment that is failing, how you would design something that needs to handle a sudden spike in traffic. If you can point to a project you actually built that involved exactly those decisions, the conversation shifts completely. You are not describing what you would do, but what you already did, what went wrong along the way, and what you would do differently. That is what turns an interview into an offer. There are two projects that make the biggest difference in 2026 interviews. A multi-tier web application deployed on AWS with auto-scaling, load balancing, and a managed database, built with Terraform rather than anything random. This project proves that you can build the kind of infrastructure companies actually run in production, and that you know how to do it through code in a way that is repeatable. The Cloud Resume Challenge. Your resume as a website hosted on S3, served through CloudFront, with a visitor counter backed by DynamoDB. It covers a dozen main AWS services in a single project. The architecture is clear enough to explain in an interview, and it is something hiring managers have seen enough times to immediately recognize as real signal. Put those two on GitHub with your AWS Solutions Architect certification, and you will get responses from companies you did not expect to hear from. Now let me give you the honest timeline, because most people covering this topic are not straight with you about how long it actually takes. Here is what this actually looks like if you put in 12 to 20 hours a week. The foundation starts in months 1 through 3, Linux, networking, and basic scripting. This phase takes longer than people expect because you are not just memorizing commands, you are building the mental model that everything else depends on. You know you are ready to move on when the command line feels normal, you can look at a network diagram and understand what is happening, and you can write a short script to solve a real problem without having to look up every line. Months 4 through 6 are the core cloud stack. The AWS core services, Terraform, Docker, Kubernetes, and CI and CD pipelines. By the end of month 6, you should be building real cloud environments from code, deploying actual applications, and understanding why things break when they do. That brings us to months 7 and 8, that are for AWS Solutions Architect Associate Exam Prep and Certification. If you have been doing the work in the first two phases properly, this is not new material. It is review and giving formal names to concepts you already understand from having built things, and most people pass within this window. Months 9 and 10 are portfolio and applications. This is where you finish your 3 projects, write clear documentation for each one on GitHub, and start sending out applications. By this point, you have real infrastructure to talk through in interviews. Then in 10 months to a year, you go from knowing nothing to certified and interview ready. For a career that starts at $130,000 on average and only gets more valuable as more AI workloads move on to cloud infrastructure, 1 year is not a long time. The companies that need cloud engineers right now are not just tech companies. They are hospitals, banks, retailers, logistics companies, and every other industry that is realizing their entire operation depends on infrastructure they do not fully control yet. The demand is not slowing down, and the people who get in now will have genuine experience when the next hiring starts. The link to Zero to Mastery's Cloud Engineer career path is in the description, and the first month is completely risk-free for you. Also, make sure to subscribe if this was helpful, and if you want to see which tech certifications are paying the most right now, that video is right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.